You wake up already behind. Not late, not rushed, just slightly behind your own thoughts. Your eyes open, and before your body moves, your mind is already negotiating. What can wait? What you'll ignore? What you'll promise yourself you'll handle later? The room is quiet, but inside you, there's movement, a low hum of unfinished things. You tell yourself it's fine. You've done this before. You always do. You get up. You move through the familiar motions. The same light through the window. The same sounds. The same half attention to everything. Nothing feels wrong enough to fix. Nothing feels right enough to enjoy. And that's the problem. The day fills itself without asking you. Messages come in, tasks stack up. Small decisions drain more energy than they should. You keep switching between things, not because you're busy, but because staying with one thing feels uncomfortable. You sit down to focus, then reach for your phone, without noticing your hand move. You stand in the kitchen, forgetting why you walked in. You reread the same line twice, then a third time. You're not overwhelmed in a dramatic way. There's no crisis, no collapse, just a steady sense that you're present, but not fully. By midday, there's a quiet frustration under everything. You've been active all morning, but nothing feels complete. You've responded to people, but haven't said anything meaningful. You've stayed busy, but avoided the one thing you know matters. You tell yourself you'll get to it after this, or after work, or tonight, when things slow down. They don't. The afternoon fades faster than you expect. Time feels slippery. Hours pass without leaving a mark. You catch yourself thinking about who you were a few years ago, or who you thought you'd be by now. The gap isn't loud, but it's there. You don't feel angry about it. You feel tired of thinking about it. By evening, you're drained in a way that rest doesn't fix. You sit down, telling yourself you deserve to relax. You scroll. You watch. You consume things that don't ask anything of you. It feels reasonable. You worked today. You showed up. You did what was required. But underneath that permission, there's a quiet awareness. This isn't recovery. It's delay. Late at night, when the world finally slows, the noise inside gets clearer. You think about the things you keep postponing. Not big dreams, small ones. The kind that only require consistency. The kind that would slowly change how you see yourself. You think about how often you've said soon. How often tomorrow has carried the weight of your intentions. You don't feel lazy. You don't feel incapable. You feel disconnected from your own follow-through. And that disconnection hurts more than failure would, because you know you care. The frustration doesn't come from not wanting more. It comes from knowing you're capable of more and watching yourself choose comfort instead. Not dramatic comfort, ordinary comfort. The kind that feels harmless. One more delay. One more distraction. One more evening where nothing goes wrong. But nothing moves forward either. Comfort doesn't shout. It whispers. It tells you there's no rush, that you've earned rest, that today doesn't matter that much. Routine reinforces it. Same days, same patterns, same outcomes. Delay wraps it all up with logic. Now isn't the right time. You'll be better prepared later. Tomorrow will be clearer. Tomorrow becomes a place where responsibility lives, so today doesn't have to carry it. Over time, something subtle happens. You stop trusting your own promises. Not consciously, quietly. You still plan. You still intend. But a part of you no longer believes you'll follow through, so you aim lower. You avoid making clear decisions. You keep things vague enough that you can't disappoint yourself too badly. Life keeps moving. You keep watching. There's a strange feeling that comes with that. Like standing just outside your own life, observing it happen in real time. You're involved, but not invested. Busy, but not aligned. Aware, but not committed. The fear isn't that you'll fail. It's that nothing will ever force you to change. The fear is wasted time. Not in years, in days. Ordinary days that repeat themselves so well they disappear. And somewhere in that repetition, there's a version of you that feels further away each week. Not gone, just quieter, waiting. You don't need another burst of motivation to see this. You already see it. You feel it when things get quiet, when you're honest with yourself. When you imagine continuing like this for another year and feel a dull resistance in your chest. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're aware. And awareness without action is uncomfortable. That's where the tension lives, between knowing and doing, between intention and identity, between who you are when you're alone with your thoughts and who you become when the day starts making decisions for you. Because this isn't about energy or motivation. It's about whether you trust yourself to do what you said you would do, especially when no one is watching. Discipline isn't a system you follow. It's a relationship you rebuild with yourself. It starts quietly, not with big goals or dramatic shifts, with a decision to stop abandoning yourself in small moments, to stop making promises you already expect to break, to choose differently, not because it's impressive, but because it's honest. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's choosing the version of yourself you won't have to explain away later. It's setting boundaries not to restrict your life, but to protect what matters inside it. It's understanding that freedom doesn't come from having no rules. It comes from choosing your rules, instead of inheriting them from comfort and habit. When you keep a small promise to yourself, something changes internally. Not immediately, but subtly. Your self-talk shifts. Your posture changes. You stop negotiating as much. You don't need to hype yourself up. You just act. The same day can feel different when you trust yourself. The same work, the same responsibilities, but there's less resistance, less internal arguing, less need to escape. You're not forcing productivity. You're aligning behavior with identity. You start showing up as someone who follows through. Not perfectly, consistently. You don't need to fix your whole life to feel progress. You need to stop lying to yourself about what you'll do later. You need to decide who you are in the moments that feel insignificant, the moments that don't get seen, the moments where no one would blame you for choosing the easier option. Those moments are shaping you anyway. When you choose presence over distraction, even briefly, you feel it. When you stop delaying something you know matters, there's a quiet relief, not excitement. Relief, like you've returned to yourself after being gone for a while. Nothing dramatic happens. Life doesn't transform overnight, but your relationship with time changes. Days feel heavier, but more real. Effort feels cleaner. Rest feels earned. You stop needing constant stimulation to avoid yourself, and slowly, almost without noticing, the gap between who you are and who you know you could be starts to narrow. Not because you chased a new version of yourself, but because you stopped betraying the one you already are. So the question isn't what habit will change everything. The question is whether you're ready to become someone who keeps quiet promises, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it would be easier not to. Because that choice is available to you tonight. And again tomorrow morning. And again the next time you reach for comfort without thinking. Who do you choose to be in those moments?